what we should do so that this very essay paper can help us in securing good rank in the examination. Now UPSC doesn't give any syllabus, no specific syllabus as such. Now what exactly is the methodology of giving you marks? Ethics is the greatest source of essay writing as of now. So what you need to do this is just a roadmap of writing essays. I always say it's better to sweat in peace than to bleed in war. Hello everyone, this is me Kapil Sikka. I welcome you all to PW UPSC Wala English. Friends, there is a pertinent question asked by every student that how to prepare essay paper, how to get maximum marks in this paper, what should be our strategy, what we should do so that this very essay paper can help us in securing good rank in the examination. Because I have seen many students who could not do well in the essay paper, either they are dragged down in the ranks or they are shifted out of this competition. So in this session, I am going to discuss the nuances of essay writing. We would be discussing that what exactly is the importance of essay paper. We would be analyzing the PYQs. At the same time, we would also be looking at the major ideas, the major content which has to be done for essay writing. But before we start, I just want to tell you about the mains Srijan batch. So let us first discuss about this Srijan Mains 2025 batch, and this we are starting for the students who are writing mains this year. Last year it was really it gave really tremendous results. As you can see, 192 students got selected out of this very course. For this year, we have a special benefit for you. First, let us see what this course is all about. It is about GS 1 to 3 classes. It is about live ethics classes. It is about Likho Live. It is about test plus mentorship. So, all of these you would be getting if you are writing mains this year. This is really crucial for your mains preparation. This would really supplement your mains preparation because all of these things are available at zero cost. So, if you are prelims qualified aspirant, if you are done with your prelims, you are going for mains, do scan this QR, register, and our team will connect with you and they will take you in this course. And once you are in this course, you can use these features and can ensure your name in this year's PDF. So now let us continue to the topic as we were discussing earlier. So before starting this particular session, let us discuss what would be the breakup of this session, what we are going to discuss in this session. This session would consist of the syllabus of essay. So first thing we would be discussing would be the syllabus of essay writing. Second is we would be discussing the importance of essay writing. Obviously, it is part of the examination process. Then we would be discussing the PYQs. At the same time, we would be discussing the strategy through which this paper can be covered. So this would be the final, this is how the session is going to be taken up. These are the major pillars of this session. First thing we need to understand that why essay paper or what exactly is essay paper all about. Look, UPSC says that they are going to ask essay paper. There would be one essay paper. It would be asked in mains. It consists of 250 marks. So total weightage given to this paper is 250 marks, out of which 125 has been allocated to section A, 125 is allocated to section B. And this is a compulsory paper. Do not treat it as an optional. This is a compulsory paper. In fact, your mains examination start with this very paper. Okay, you have essay, then you have GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. So this is where essay has a very important role in your preparation, obviously in your examination. So it's a 250 marks paper. So candidates are required to write 125 marks essay in each section. Each section consists of 4 topics. Out of 4 topics, you have to choose one topic. So choose one is what you have to do. Similarly, in section B, there are again 4 topics. You have to choose one topic in section B. So that means you have to write 2 essays. Now here comes the word limit of these essays. So word limit is again up till 1250 marks. So this is the word limit that you have to write the essay in the given word limit. Obviously, you have the selected, given number of sheets. You cannot write more than that. So this is where this paper becomes very important, that you have to practice well at home so that you are not overwriting something or you are not underwriting something. So this is what is the requirement. This is what is the syllabus of the paper. Now next comes, this is what is the breakup of the paper. Now next comes what exactly is the syllabus. Now UPSC doesn't give any syllabus, no specific syllabus as such, no specific syllabus for this paper. No specific syllabus means, can they ask anything? Of course, no. But yes, they have given you the directions. They have given you the directions to write the paper. In fact, they have given you the guidelines to write the paper. So you have the directions and you have the guidelines to write these kinds of paper. If you'll see the guidelines over here is, number one is that candidates will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. So your expectation is that you have to keep closely to the subject of the essay. Now what exactly is keeping close to the subject of the essay? So let us say if the topic is about social media, let us try to break down the syllabus. Topic is about, I'm just giving an example, about social media. So that does not mean that you have to write everything about internet. You have to stick to this topic. So keep closely means sticking to the topic. You have to stick to this topic, and whatever has been asked, you have to write in that direction. Okay, so this is what is line number one, that right kind of deconstruction, and obviously you have to give the arguments which are basically related to the particular subject. Second thing is, when it comes to the second line of the syllabus is to arrange the ideas in orderly fashion. Now what exactly is this orderly fashion? Orderly fashion over here means that whatever you are writing, your writing should be in form of structure. Your topics should be arranged in structural manner. So there has to be a structure which you have to focus. Structural writing has to be there. Structure means, let us say, topics, its history, its current context, and then obviously way forward future, whatsoever it is, solutions, way forward future. So this is how a scheme has to be followed, a structure has to be followed. You have to write down the topics in a structured format. So this is what UPSC is trying to ask, that structuring should be there and articulation has to be there. Whatever you are writing should be well articulated, or at the same time should be substantiated with the help of examples. But at the same time, while writing down, do not forget to write crisp things, because essay is not something about everything. Okay, it is about something about everything. Essay is something about everything and not everything about something. It's not everything about something. So that means it has to be in a multi-dimensional manner. It has to be in a multi-dimensional manner. So essay has to have multiple dimensions. So multiple dimensions have to be there. Okay. So let us say if you are talking about, I'll just discuss. Let us say if you are talking about the women empowerment. So obviously all the dimensions of the women empowerment have to be taken up. You are talking about social media. So obviously all the dimensions, the pros, the cons, the benefits, the challenges, the government's steps, and the way forward has to be taken up. So this is where UPSC is trying to say that you have to write concisely, no beating around the bush. That means you're not writing a lot about something. At the same time, write in small paragraphs. Usually how many paragraphs? I prefer 2 to 3 paragraphs per page would suffice. So 2 to 3 paragraphs per page are definitely going to suffice. At the end, the credit would be given for the effective and exact expression. Now what exactly is the methodology of giving you marks? So credit as in how they are going to award you the marks. So marks would be for exact and effective expression. Exact means whatever has been asked, you have to write that sentence as well. You have to write that topic as well only. So let us say it is about, again I would say the topic is about the value system, or let us consider a straightforward topic. I'll be using again AI. Topic is about AI. So obviously your focus has to be on AI. It has to be on AI, but at the same time it has to be effective. Now how that effective answer writing will come? So effective answer writing means using the right kinds of introductions, using anecdotes, using current stories. This will make it effective. Relating or current examples, data if required, not always, data if required, and obviously linking it with modern era if required. Okay, so linking it with current issues. So this can make your essay very effective in nature. Fine. So I guess this is you're able to get what I'm trying to tell you. Now the question comes that what kind of questions are they asking and how they are going to evaluate your essay. What exactly is the effective way, why they, and how they are giving you the good marks. Why are they giving you good marks and how they are giving you good marks? First thing is that there should be clarity of thought. There should be clarity of thought. When I say clarity of thought means whatever you are writing down on your paper, you are yourself able to understand. Whatever you are writing down, you are yourself able to grasp it, you are yourself able to understand it. So first thing is there has to be clarity of thought. Number two over here is there has to be well structured essay. Essay has to be well structured in nature. It has to be well structured. Number three is this particular essay should consist of the right kind of arguments, and again it should have a very effective framework. So what is effective framework? This I will tell you. So flow of argument has to be there and framework. Now what exactly is a framework over here? Now many students and many classes tell you different kinds of framework. You can develop your own style of framework. I personally believe that essay has to start with anecdote. This is where we get a good start without much friction. Second thing, I believe there has to be a thesis statement depicting what you are going to write. You need to tell them what you are going to write, what you are about to write, how you are going to write, and what would be the outcome of your writing. Then obviously starting with the context of the topic, evaluation of the topic. Now evaluation would definitely consist of writing down the pros of the topic, the other side of the topic, then you have the solutions to the topic, cons, then you have limitations, shortcomings, and then you have the final solutions of the topic. Then obviously at the end you can write a solutions is there, conclusion, way forward can be added. Conclusion, way forward. Obviously solutions can be written over here. So this is how your style of writing, you can draw this particular chart, you can use this particular style of writing to write effective essays. Now there are other ways as well to write down the essays. It depends upon you. The only thing is whatsoever you are writing, howsoever you are writing, there should be clarity of thoughts. Thoughts have to be very much clear over here. Now let us move towards the previous year questions. What kind of themes? Let us analyze the themes. Analysis of the themes. What exactly has been asked so far? If you will see, so far ethics and philosophy has been a very important subject in essay writing, because last year also they had 6 questions out of 8, 5. So since 2020 they have completely changed their style of asking the questions. Now they are more focused upon ethics and philosophy. History again, there is no question this year. Environment, economy is again, environment happens to be their favorite topic. So you can say that around 5 to 6 questions would be from ethics and philosophy, 1 would be from environment, of course, and then there can be a question from IR, polity, and then there can be a question from social justice. So effectively, as of now, the most prominent theme is ethics, philosophy, There has to be question from this, either 5, 6 questions. Then there can be a question from environment, obviously one question. There can be a question from social justice, women, modern social problems. So there can be a question from this, at least one or two. So this can be made the broad structure, this can be made the probable themes. So these are the probable themes and these are the PYQ themes which were emphasized in the previous year question papers. Now, this is represented. Then you have recurring patterns. Now if you will see the questions, forest precedes civilizations, desert follow them, empires of the future will be the empires of the mind, there is no path to happiness, happiness is the path, doubter is the true man of science, again social media triggering fear of missing out, youth precipitating depression, loneliness, nearly all men can stand adversity but to test character of give him power, all ideas having large consequences are always simple, the cost of being worse is less than the cost of doing nothing. Clear? So this is how you can see that kind of questions have been asked. Okay, so this is where kind of questions have been asked. Done. So kind of questions have been asked over here. These kind of questions are philosophical in nature, ethical in nature, and of similar kind. Now if you see 2023, thinking is like a game, it does not begin unless there is opposite team. Visionary decision making happens at the intersection of intuition and logic. Not all who wander are lost. Inspiration from creativity springs from the effort to look for magic in the mundane tasks. So if you are looking it for the very first time, you would be feeling afraid that what kind of questions are being asked over here. But yes, when we will sit in class, when we will discuss these questions, when we will see that how to write such kind of questions, you will feel comfortable. Obviously, you will be able to sail down this problem, sail down through this problem. Again, forest, the question on economy, poets are unacknowledged legislators of the world. History is a series of victories won by scientific man over romantic man. Obviously, ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ship is for. So if you will see these kinds of questions, time to repair the roof. When sun is shining, you cannot step twice in the same river. Smile is a chosen vehicle of all ambiguities. Done. Now, hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. This is the only question in the history of essay writing which has been repeated ad verbatim. What is research but a blind date with knowledge? History repeats itself as a tragedy and as a farce. There are better practices to the best practices. Fine. So these kinds of questions you can see have been asked in the essay paper. Now the question comes that how to prepare these kinds of questions. What exactly is the way to write such kind of essays? Look, sources of such kind of essay. Sources, we will see that ethics has to be, ethics is the greatest source of essay writing as of now. Most important thing is ethics. Second happens to be the GS paper 1 society. So before writing down the essays, you have to go through ethics thoroughly, you have to go through society thoroughly, and obviously environment thoroughly. Apart from that, obviously GS2, GS3, GS4, GS2 and 3 also plays a very important role. But as of now, this is our major concern, that before starting essay writing, you should be well versed with these kinds of topics. Apart from that, you need to have current affairs knowledge. Why current affairs knowledge? This will help you in linking the topics. Let us say the question has been asked on artificial intelligence. There has been some kind of recent development, some kind of recent news which depicts the misuse of AI. You can directly jump upon the introduction writing about the bad use of AI, the misuse of AI as it was done recently. On the other hand, you must be having a positive use of AI as well. So you can write down the positive and negative side of AI, and then you can start writing down your question. So ethics, most prominent role, it plays the most prominent role. Obviously society again, prominent role, environment, prominent role, and current affairs as the most supporting role for the essay paper. So these are the actors which are required for essay, where ethics comes the first one, and then you have the other topics as well, other papers as well. Now let us say if I want to score more than what others are scoring, what techniques should I use, what others might not be using, or what techniques I can use over others so that I can get extra 5, 7 marks, 10 marks in the paper. First thing is use of anecdotes. Usually anecdotes is something which you tend to get in your day-to-day life. What are anecdotes? Anecdotes are short stories. These are the short stories. From where have we taken the short stories? These are the daily examples. These are the notable personalities, personas. These are the ethics examples. Okay. So this is where you can start with these kinds of examples. Then obviously using the ethics paper over here for value based essays. If your essays are value based, so you should have ethics for your prescription, because every essay has to have a prescriptive approach. One more thing is, do not forget writing down prescription. Do not forget writing down. I'll just discuss with one essay over here. Prescription. From where will I get these prescriptions? Prescriptions are nothing but the solutions, what is to be done. And in most of the essays, ethics theories are the prescriptions. Ethics theories, values, role of Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, okay, ritual text or all the text we have in hand. Then story of Buddha, life of Buddha, Buddhism, Jainism over here. These are the prominent prescriptions we find in our ethics paper. We can use them. We should use them in fact. Fine. So this is how these are two important things which will always help you in securing what others are securing more than the existing students. Now let us take one topic. There was a topic that a ship is safe in harbor. Okay, but that is not what ship is for. I am just rewriting it, but ship is for sailing. Now here what you can do is you can identify this main term ship. Ship is basically, it can be human over here. To expand your horizon, it can be institution over here. Safe means resting place. Sailing means overcoming the problems of life, the hardships. Okay, now this is how you can redo your topic. After redoing it, then you can figure out the examples over here. You can write down the, here you have the examples of various famous personalities. Examples of institutions over here. I guess personalities over here would do. How many personalities? In introduction, you just need 2 personalities, giving a counter viewpoint. A personality who successfully crossed the situations and a personality who succumbed to the situations. There can be 2 different kinds of kings in the history of India. One can be the Chola Empire, sailing down to the East Asia and expanding his empire over there. At the same time, you have the example of Bahadur Shah Zafar, not doing anything and sitting on the mercy of British, sitting on the mercy of his own soldiers. Okay, when he was being caught by the Britishers, he was not having, or he was very much reluctant to wear his slippers as well. He was like, okay, if I have been arrested, I have been arrested. What to do now? Let us go and live the life in jail. Okay, he was happy. He would be happy living in Rangoon rather than fighting. So ship is required to sail. When you will sail, you will get multiple issues in life, and this is where you can figure out that challenges one face, then obviously solutions we have, and next is conclusion. At the end, conclusion. Done. So at the end we have the conclusion. Now this is how you can write down various kinds of essays which are being asked in the paper. And then there are simple straightforward questions, like let us say social media. Now social media, there was a question. Let us discuss one question from this year only. The question was, social media is triggering fear of missing out amongst the youth, precipitating depression and loneliness. It's a negative topic, as in the theme is negative in nature. Theme is highly negative in nature. Social media, negative side has been asked. Should we always go with the negative side? Do we have some kind of positive side over here? Can we write something positive about this topic? So obviously here you can write social media positive, social media negative. You can tell that you can start with the negative side. Yes, results into FOMO, depression. How this can be told? This can be told through some anecdotal system. Then at the same time, no, good use. Good use. Some kind of benefits. Okay. So one side you have the negatives, other side you have the benefits. So negatives and benefits of social media. Then obviously, what is social media? The right side, the good side. The right side as in the good side. Here you can use examples. The gray side. Again by examples. Right side, the gray side by examples. Then obviously, way forward. Conclusion. Done. So this basically gives us a well structured essay. So what you need to do this is just a roadmap of writing essays. What you can do is you can start writing by yourself. Look, for essay I always say few things. Number one is you need to have the right strategy. That right strategy can only be developed through writing. So right strategy and writing approach. So right strategy. And now what is right strategy? Obviously that your essay looks readable. Okay, it is understandable what you are trying to write. Then it is relatable. Okay, the invigilator is able to relate it with the theme of the question. Relatable to question, obviously, and obviously structured. At the same time, apart from right strategy, you need writing practice. Writing essay is most important strategy of essay writing. So if you don't write, you will not be able to write. If you don't write here, you will not be able to write there. I always say it's better to sweat in peace than to bleed in war. The more practice you will do here, the more essays you will write here, the less problem you will face there. Okay, so keep this. More essay here, as in less issues there. Fine. So this is where you need to write your essays over here. You need to practice your essays over here. Practice is the key. Practice makes the man perfect. So here practice is key to write essays. Done. Now on this note, I guess you are able to understand what kind of questions have been asked in UPSC, what kind of essays are to be written, how those essays are to be written. So if you are a new one, if you have just started your preparation, so this is what we have an offer for you, that you can join any of our courses. If you are aiming for 2028, we have UPSC Prelims. Then if you are aiming for 2027, we have Sankalp, Pinnacle, it is starting soon. Sankalp is a English batch. Pinnacle is a complete English batch. If you are aiming for 2026, we have Prahar, we have Titan complete English. So this is where, depending upon your objective, depending upon your goal, whenever you are going to write the examination, we have drafted, or we have crafted, I would say, so many courses for you. You just don't get confused. Let us know your aim, then we would be able to tell you that what is the best course for you. For inquiries, you can connect over here. And yes, this essay course, this essay writing class is again the part of your foundation batches as well. So we would, in the foundation, we would be understanding how to write good essays. We would be understanding different kind of essay writing. We would be collecting anecdotes. We would be collecting examples. Then we would be collecting various kinds of content. And then obviously we would be writing a good kind of essay. So I guess that is all for the day. So see you in the batches. Till then, goodbye, take care, and God bless you all.